Subject to Change, a sustainability podcast.
When we first moved to the property and it became our own, we spent a couple of years just studying the property. Even though I was born and raised here, and I could say I knew it really well. There's a big difference between being there and now it's yours and it's your responsibility. So for a couple of years, we just let the property be.
A short video about the land with Bart Trudeau.
While I do struggle with this because I don't feel like nature needs us in order to be healthy.
Bart's home and garden.
So my next question, so it sounds like this yard in and of itself is really, I mean, Jodi has described it as a garden. I think is how you said it before.
Thank you.
You have like
That's the way.
What's the approach? Are you doing like are you doing food forests? Are you doing wildlife habitat? Are you doing all? I mean, I guess they're both.
Yeah.
But like what is it that you're doing? Because Jodi knows that I'm very passionate about this.
Oh, that's so exciting. So you'll have to come. Yeah, so my brother, my eldest brother, he's been working with us now for 3, 4, I don't know how many years, several years. He lives in Hawaii, and he is an expert. I mean, he is so incredibly knowledgeable about foraging and about food, just like. It's a very, well, he's a very unique person, first of all, but he has I just don't come across this kind of knowledge in people. He can just walk outside and eat.
Oh. So Lauren wants to crawl into the computer right now.
And I want to crawl into your brother's head in Hawaii.
Yes.
Oh, me too.
Like
Me too. I try to absorb as much knowledge from him as I can, and he teaches me a lot.
Rose hips?
I never knew what a rose hip was. I mean, I've heard of a rose hip. I've had rose hip and supplements and stuff like that. No, we walk out in the front yard and we're eating rose hips off the bush,
That's cool.
I started planting rose hips on my old property because
they're amazing.
Yes, and I didn't get to enjoy any, but that's okay.
My big achievement is finding spearmint that continues to grow and making a mojito.
Yeah. Anything. It's incredible when you can grow, when you can eat the stuff that's like right off your land. We have some enormous trees that we planted when we were little kids. We have an elm tree that's probably, gosh, I couldn't even guess how tall, but the circumference of the thing has got to be 30 inches. Diameter rather. I remember bringing that back on a wheelbarrow in the rain and planting it. My dad.
Check out the book 1491.
You mentioned that you feel odd about, cutting back and cultivating because, should you interact with nature in that way and control it? But we're nature, and we're one of the systems. And also, I don't know, that book 1491.
Oh, great book.
Great book, which is about what this continent really looked like before Columbus discovered it, when there was already a vital and very populous residency here, and the cultivation of the forests by the indigenous people, which really led to the forest being much healthier and producing with and for the Indian tribes. So that's an incredible story, that if you just leave nature alone and fence it off and say, let's protect that over there, it really doesn't do much to create sustainable outcomes.
This is one of the things I love you for, Jodi, is you can help to ease a conscience that struggles with these concerns, because I really do struggle with it. I you know, it's difficult. We have this beautiful land, and we're plowing through it with, you know, 75 horsepower diesel engines.
Well,
and
that we can talk about.
you know, it's not necessary.
It's about creating habitat.
Well, you know, Lauren, you had asked me earlier what's, you know, what's driving this, you know, and is habitat part of it? And habitat is a huge part of it. So it's been fascinating. One of the things that we've done is I've dug 5 ponds that all kind of terrace one into the next, and I think they're beautiful. But it's incredible. Now, when I was a kid, we raised ducks here, and that was my thing. We raised rabbits and ducks, and I raised the ducks. So we had a duck pond, and there was, I always remember this place being full of frogs and turtles and things like that, and they weren't around anymore. So I thought, you know, nasty environment, you know, it's killing all the amphibians. No, it's not. There's lots of frogs. Oh my God.
They just wanted
they just needed a place. It's like I literally could not finish digging the ponds before the frogs started invading and the turtles moving in.
Wow.
And I'm like, guys, let me finish. I only need a few more weeks. All right. I don't want to crush somebody.
You can even make an urban habitat.
So we our little tiny plot, like we have 600 square feet in our backyard.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot of things to it. It's National Wildlife Federation certified because we left clutter where animals could shelter. We made sure there were bushes that are producing fruit. We provide water in a couple of different ways, and we feed the birds. But providing even that detritus where they can burrow in and be safe, and our backyard is the wildest backyard in Albany, the city of Albany, that you can find, and it's
That's awesome.
you know, it's this big.
Yeah.
This has been 2 Minutes to Change.
Thank you so much for inviting me to do this. This was just a blast.
I think it's great fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Bart. We're very
Absolutely.
pleased you joined us.
Thank you to Bart Trudeau of Trudeau Architects. This has been Jodi Smits-Anderson and Lauren Stanek with Subject to Change.
Thanks so much. We'll see you all next week.
And thanks, Bart.
Bye.
Thank you, Bart.